Half of 2026 is gone, 6 months. So here's a question. Are you set where you'd be in January? I'm going to give you the honest version of how my first half went. Then I'll walk through the exact reset process that I use. 5 questions, and you can run it yourself this week. Stay to the end because one of my goals didn't go to plan, and that's the useful part. In January, I set 3 goals. First is to start marketing properly on LinkedIn. Second was to write and publish a book. And third is to get more clients. The book happens actually before Clarity launched in June, and it actually hit number one in 3 Amazon categories and number one in the paperback as well. At the same time, the LinkedIn activity did bring me some clients and proving that the system works. But at the same time, I wanted more clients than I got, honestly. And I coach people on this. So I had a choice, pretend or fix it. So I'm fixing it. The whole second half of my year is built around that. And I'll tell you what it looks like in a minute. But first, let's talk about the reset itself. What are the 5 questions? So grab a notebook, block 20 minutes and answer these 5 questions. The first question is, what did you set out to do in January? Write down your goals from memory first, and then check your notes. And if you can't remember them, that tells you something already. Your goals probably weren't specific enough. A vague goal doesn't actually pull you anywhere. So if you're building a business, set goals very specifically enough that you'd know without any doubt whether you'd hit them, yes or no. Get more clients is actually not a goal. Sign 4 clients by June is. The second question is, what actually happened? And here I really want to focus on the facts. How many clients did you sign? How many client meetings did you have? How much content did you publish? How many real conversations did you have? Here's why this matters. A lot of what you do feels productive, but it doesn't actually move the business forward. Tweaking the website, reorganizing the CRM, reading another book about sales instead of having a sales conversation. This question strips all that out. You want an objective view of the outcomes, not a diary of how busy you are. Question number 3 is, what worked? Somewhere in the last 6 months, something moved the needle, right? Find it and do more of it. For me, it was 2 things. LinkedIn marketing worked. It brought me visibility, conversations, and clients. And writing a book worked in ways that I didn't expect. It was actually quite therapeutic. It also forced me to refine my messaging and my voice. I understand what I offer better now than I did in January because I had to write it down for 170 pages or so. But do this exercise properly for yourselves. Your answer will be different from mine, and that's the point, right? Question 4, what didn't work? And is it broken or just slow? This is quite kind of a tricky one, right? Some things need to be killed off. If an activity doesn't contribute to where you want to go to, then stop doing it. Other things are working, but they may be slower than you'd like, and they need a bit more time, right? They don't need to be chucked in the bin just yet, or need to prove itself. You have to decide which one is which. Be ruthless about it. I'll give it a bit longer without a deadline. It's not a decision. It's avoidance dressed up as patience, right? For me, parts of my client acquisition process were slower than they should be. I looked at exactly which parts and I've decided what to rebuild. That's what a reset is for, not for you to feel bad about the gap, but to get specific about closing it. The 5th question is, what is the one focus for the next 90 days? 1, not 4 or 10. Mine is client acquisition as a system, and everything I'm rebuilding is serving that. Why 90 days? Because you can see the whole thing. 6 months or a year is a little bit too far out. It's hard to connect what you do today with the results. 90 days is close enough for you for it to feel real, and you can break it down. You can break it down what needs to be in place, and by the end of month 1, what's the focus of month 2, month 3, And now you have a plan and you can break it down and chunk it down. So because of that reset, here is what my second half looks like. I'm rebuilding my program, sharper, more complete. I'm relaunching my masterclass. That goes live this Wednesday. The day actually before I go on leave to Greece. The link is in the description. The podcast will keep going. Tech Journeys, that what podcast is called. And I started several weeks ago, and there are about 10 episodes up already. Real conversations with real people in tech about how they've built their careers and businesses. It's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. Still early days, but it's become one of my favorite things to do just because I love the conversations. And I'm building something new as well, a LinkedIn marketing and appointment setting service done for you. And here's why. Almost every person I speak to has the same nervousness, the same uncertainty. How do I get clients? So I'm taking that off your plate. I generate leads, I set the appointments, and you have the conversations. That's a waiting list that's now open. You click on the link in the description, join it if you want to be one of the first to know where it opens. So one more thing before the reset questions send you off, right? I try to do most of my work before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That is a design choice for me. It means that I'm present for my family instead of squeezing them in around the edges, right? And 10 days I'll be on a catamaran in Greece with my wife and children and my brother and his family enjoying life. Building a consulting business is not a sprint that you win and then you stop, right? It's a game to continue, and you can't continue if you never switch off. So when you do your reset, don't just plan the business goals. Put the holiday in the plan. Protect it in the same way you protect the client meeting. Forget work-life balance in that sense. Design the life that you want and then build the business that fits it. Oh, and if you need a good holiday read, Action Before Clarity travels really well. Several readers have told me they've actually read it by the pool or on their travels. I'll leave the paperback link in the description. If you think this video is useful, like it really helps. And I want to know what's your one focus for the next 90 days. Put it in the comments below. Writing it public actually makes it real. And subscribe if you're a consultant building your own practice. There's more of this type of content coming. And if your first half didn't go to plan and you want a second pair of eyes on the resets, there's a link below as well to a free consulting clarity call. So I'll see you in the next video newsletter right after Greece. Take care.